Right gang, so as many of you know, last month I decided to change things up here on this YouTube channel, reduce the number of videos here, just to focus on the side hustles in a little bit more detail. That said, I most definitely picked a month for it with Google absolutely obliterating millions of websites across the board in their latest Google algorithm update. Now I did still promise you guys regular update videos on how my websites are performing. So let's dive into the earnings, the page views, and of course the goals for next month, and let's see if my websites were indeed impacted by the algorithm update. Here's the secret, unfortunately they were. Start then with site number one. So you guys already know the deal with site one. It has 116 posts on it. It's around about 3.5 years old, and this website hasn't been updated in around about 2 years or so. Last month then, this website brought in a grand total of 2,320 page views, which is down around about 100 page views or so on August, 2,444 page views. Don't know how I confused that one. Thankfully then, not too big a drop, all things considered. Now this website is monetized both through Ezoic and through Amazon Associates, and last month it brought in a grand total of $18.21 from Ezoic and $33.81 from Amazon Associates, for a grand total of $52.46. Site number two. So site two is the main website that we like to focus on this channel. It's the one where I've got the most amount of experience. It's where I basically took all of the learnings and failures from site number one into site number two. And over the past 2 years, it has been growing very, very steadily at a nice rate every single month. This website then is around about 2.5 years old, has around 200-ish or just over 200 page views on it, and it is updated very, very regularly. Last month then, we set the task for this website to get an additional 5 brand new posts on it, which I'm happy to report I did manage to achieve. Now, sadly, this website was hit with a snippet-wide update back in June, meaning that it lost every single ranking it had for the snippets back in June. But did that lead to a further impact here in the September Google algorithm update? Unfortunately, yeah, not a good one. Last month then, this website dropped around about 30% or so of its page views, and it was down to 12,061 page views, which is down from around 17,000 or so page views the previous month before, so a pretty hefty drop, unfortunately. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that some of this is going to be seasonal, because this website does typically tend to drop traffic off from sort of October, November, December time, which is perfectly fine. However, from a drop that large, I'm pretty damn sure it's related to this algorithm update, which really sucks. And this website is monetized both through Ezoic and through third-party affiliates like ShareASale. Unfortunately, it didn't make any affiliate income last month, but it did manage to bring in a little bit of income from Ezoic at $117 or so. So a nice little income there. So what do we do from here? So as you can imagine, this is obviously incredibly frustrating. I mean, no one wants to be working on a project for around about 2 years or so for Google to repeatedly pull the rug from underneath you. So what exactly do we do when a website is hit this bad by a Google algorithm update? First thing to do is obviously not to panic. I mean, I've been looking around on the marketplace and seeing how other bloggers are getting on, and unfortunately, some of the niche website owners have lost 90 to 80% of their traffic, which is absolutely massive and horrible, and no one really wants to see that. My heart most definitely goes out to you guys, because you know, this is your livelihoods and it just sucks. So I don't want to make anyone panic or any of those kinds of things, but this has been on my mind pretty much for the past couple of months or so. But I genuinely do feel as though the heyday for these niche websites was in that 2017 to 2022 period. And with the rise of AI, with Google taking more and more of the search and being much more strict about, you know, what they want to rank, because after all, they're going to want to keep as much of the traffic for themselves as possible. I do feel as though in the next 10 years or so, niche websites are pretty much on their way out. It might sound pretty harsh, however, if we think about it from a genuine perspective, Google is trying to make the search as strong as possible for its readers. And if we think about it, if I have a niche website, let's say all around, I don't know, plumbing or something like that, or you know, drain pipes or whatever it might be, basically something as silly as that. But if I'm not a plumber myself and I've got no experience in the trade or any of those kinds of things, it makes sense for Google to want to prioritize these kinds of websites as opposed to us hobbyists that are just genuinely interested in the niche, but maybe we don't have the decades worth of experience and can't show that to Google there as well. That said, the best thing to do in these situations is, you know, not to panic, not to make any rash decisions, which is why the goals for next month are pretty much going to be the same as they are every single month. So next month, I'm going to aim to get around about 3 brand new pieces of content on the website and update 3 existing pieces of content on the website using the battleship method. That's it. There's no point changing the theme or making anything drastic or making any drastic changes just yet. Now, I'm expecting the traffic to drop a little bit further as this algorithm update continues to push forward and as seasonality kicks in and all those kinds of things. but it won't be until around about March or April time next year. And if we do see a chance of recovery, we'll have a much better determination on if this website can kind of be pushed forward, I can invest income further in it, or if we just kind of let it sit and sort of focus on some of the other side hustles there, like the Amazon FBA stuff that I talked about in last month's video. So yeah, guys, not the best income update video, right? It's not exactly the one that I wanted to be doing in sort of this absence of videos essentially, but you know, it is what it is. And this is unfortunately the life of being an entrepreneur. If it was all nice and straightforward and all that kind of stuff, you know, it would be amazing, but unfortunately it isn't. And this is the reality of starting businesses and building websites and building side hustles in general. Please do leave a comment down below, though, gang, and let me know how your websites have performed, if they've increased after the update, if they've decreased after the update. And just genuinely really curious to see, you know, what it is that you're going to do in order to take this stuff into your consideration, and basically what you're going to do to overcome some of these challenges if your website have dropped. As always, however, absolutely smash the like and subscribe button, as they both genuinely do help out the channel. And until next time's video, I'll leave you to it. All the best, gang. Have a good one. Bye.